Good afternoon, sir. As we all know, Suresh Heblikar is like a great Kannada film director, actor, as well as a great environmentalist.
Okay.
But thank you, sir, for coming here, letting me have a session with you, sir. Okay, the first question is, can you share some memorable experience from your journey in the film industry, Kannada film industry?
Actually, I came to film industry not to become an actor or director, but to direct, yes. I was influenced by a lot of French films and Satyajit Ray's films when I was studying in Karnataka University. I accidentally met a professor who had come from Paris to teach French in Dharwad. His name was Professor Mahale. Mahale was an amazingly talented man and a great person who gave speeches impromptu on philosophy, on literature, on subject, on poetry, on arts, on films. And he was a literary teacher. So I introduced myself to him, and he had organized a film workshop in Dharwad. So I was able to see some of the best films made those days, about 30, 40 years ago. Great films. And one film was called The Wages of Fear, which was about the Second World War. Hitler had declared the Second World War against the entire Europe and all. So there, the youngsters who reached the age of 18 were supposed to go and serve the military for 2 years. It was a must wherever you were. So there were 4 youngsters. One was a poet, one was a painter, one was a writer, one was a thinker. They said, we have no enemies. Why take the gun and kill somebody? See, they were young poets, French. Why kill someone? They are not our enemies. Then they said, oh, this is what the government says. This is what you are supposed to go. No, we don't want to go to war. So all 4 of them, they collect little money here and there. They take a cheap flight and go to one of the most backward country in Latin America, South America, and live there until the war is over. How they live? They don't know Spanish, they don't know the local language, they don't know the local culture, they don't know the local atmosphere, they have a little money. But how they live for 5 years? That was an amazing film made. Until then, we were seeing films in Dharwad. Many of them were Hindi films because Dharwad was a place where Kannada was not much seen. But we used to see now and then. So there was a world of difference between the films that we were making and the films that I was seeing. German, Czechoslovakian, Japanese, Satyajit Ray. Satyajit Ray's 2 films, they impressed me a lot. Mahanagar and Pather Panchali. So I thought, and the professor, I met him, he said, this is an amazing country. Wonderful cultures, wonderful food, wonderful languages. What an amazing history you have, great people, great saints. So you should make some films, he said. You should be in the film, he said. So I came with that intention and we started making short films. Well, Asima was one organization we started. So we were making short films. And at that time, the person who used to lend us a camera, Prasad, he wanted to make a film. He said, I want you to act in my film. I said, okay. So that was my first film, Kankana. Kankana was Kasturi, is the great psychological novelist from Mysore.
I think I have heard about him.
Yeah, Kankana. That was my first film where I acted as a flamboy. Then he said, you have to flirt with the girls and all that. I said, whatever role you give. So I acted in that. That film got a national award. And the actress got a Best Actor award. So this is how my career began. Then the next film came called Vatsalya Pata, then Aparichita, then Nale Mane, then Agantuka, then Prasad's film, Chandrasekhar Kambar's film. Chandrasekhar Kambar's film. I mean, it was directed by Prasad. It was a beautiful film. 2 national awards it had. Then I directed my own film called Agantuka. Then came Kadinamiki. So like that, I did not come here to make a career as an actor, but as a filmmaker. But then, as you know, our Kannada film industry has its own history, and there were not many making very new kind of films that I had in my mind. I was thinking about the world, I was thinking about French films, I was thinking how I knew a French lady, she came to teach French. She said how the French Revolution took place, how people live there. So that was my idea of making a film. So I got into it. This is how my little story of my films.
It's really nice to know about all the background things that happen within your life and how you entered into the film industry, sir.
Yeah.
Thank you for sharing such a nostalgic stories about yourself. My other question is that other than the film that you have right now told, is there any other film or project that played a significant role in your life?
Yes, Cardina Benki, for instance, it was the first film in India which dealt with the Oedipus complex. It's a mother obsession. I played that role and I directed the film. So that was a new kind of a film. And when I think some questions were raised in the parliament, oh, it is a sexual film. There is nothing about sex. The Indian Express wrote, it is such a beautiful film about sex that even children can enjoy it. Yes. I mean, that was the kind of a film that I made. I played the role, very sensitive film, Cardina Benki. So that was a groundbreaking idea of filmmaking for me. Then came Usha Kirana. Usha Kirana is my own kind of a life, a little bit, a semi-autobiographical film. How I came to Bangalore, then all that. Then I have two children in the film. Geeta played my wife, that Tamilian Geeta, she was one. So we played that. That became a wonderful film also. That was, I brought out new ideas of how people living, children. Then we go to America. When I come back, I'm a changed man. My wife is the same. I want children to speak good English and all that. She says, they can't speak, why do you force them? So the boy runs out of the home. Then I realized slowly. So these are different kinds of films that I have made. I'm very happy about it. Even Agantuka was based on my friend's film, my friend's story as a doctor in the village. Then he was forced to give a certificate of a natural death, but it was a murder. He said, no, I won't give. Then the MLA wanted to transfer him. He transferred him. And the local people said, no, we want that doctor. We wanted our doctor. He should be saying. So this is how I made that film also. That was a good film. So like this, different theories, different, in Alemane, that song, Dodda Range Goda, he wrote that song, Nammura Mandara. Then I told Dodda Range Goda, you bal chanagi bardiralla. Naan bardenepa 1000 ಹಾಡುಗಳನ್ನು ಬರ್ದೇನೆ. ಬಟ್ ನಿಮ್ಮದು ನಟನೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿತ್ತು. ನೀವು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹಂಗೆ ಮಾಡಿ ಕಾಲ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಲ್ಲ. ನಿಧಾನವಾಗಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರಿ, ಜನಕ್ಕೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಆಯ್ತದು. So that was a film which I made. That was, I mean, I did not direct it, but I helped the director. He was the first man. He did not know much. Nice man he was. So that was the film. So like that, I have made a lot of documentary films. One of my documentary films got an international award, UNO award. That was on the shepherds. I was always fascinated by shepherds in Dharwad. Because shepherds ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗ್ತಾರೆ, ಕುರಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಆಡು ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಮಲಗಿಸ್ತಾರೆ, ಊಟ ಯಾವಾಗ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ರಾತ್ರಿ ಹೇಗೆ ಮನೆಗೆ ಬರ್ತಾರೆ. So all these things were always bothering me. So I chased them for 1 week. Yeah. So it was an amazing film. It got an international award in Czechoslovakia. So that was my film. So anyway, I have also acted in one Hindi, this thing. So Aparachita was a big hit. In a different style it was. It ran for 100 days in Telugu with the same acting capacity. It ran in Hindi, it ran in Tamil. So these are the kinds of films which I have made. Yeah.
As a forensic student, I'm really curious to know about all these movies now.
Sure, you must see them. I mean, they may be available, I think, on the TV. Recently I acted with Lakshmi, Julie Lakshmi, what you say, no? The Trikona. So many people liked it. It is a different kind of a film. Innondu namma Guru Shishya. Guru Shishyaದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ I have acted as an old man's role. ಒಂದು ಹಳ್ಳಿನಂದು ಇರುತ್ತೆ. So that was also a nice film, but it did not flourish very much because that Kantara came at the same time. They played that film. That drew a lot of attention. That was a good film, no doubt. So this is my film, but at the same time I was interested in environment. When I studied economics, I come from Dharwad, full of poets and writers, great people like Bendre. Their poetry is amazing. Bantido Shringara Masa, Kantu Nakka Chandrahasa. Amazing, what writing it is. So these are the kind of films, poetry I like. And so Dharwad is a cultural capital, known for 1,000 lakes, known for grasslands, known for beautiful guava garden, mango gardens. Amazing it is. But people are now getting affected by Bangalore development. Bangalore tara agbeku, Bangalore tara car, Bangalore tara uta, Bangalore tara mane. Ayya, Bangalore halagta ide. Bangalore is getting destroyed every day. Bangalore people cannot live here, I am telling you. ಅದನ್ನು ಯಾಕೆ ಫಾಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂತ ನಾನು ಧಾರವಾಡ ಜನರಿಗೆ ಹೇಳಿಕೊಂಡೇನೀಗ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ ಇದ್ದೇನೆ ಹಗಲೆಲ್ಲ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರಬೇಕು, ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಜೀವನ ಎಂಥ ವಂಡರ್ಫುಲ್ ಇತ್ತು ಧಾರವಾಡದ್ದು. ತಮಗಿತ್ತು ಸಾಹೇಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಿದೆ ಪ್ರಜಾವಣೆಯವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಧಾರವಾಡ ಎಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಥಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ವಿಚ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಶುಡ್ ನೋ ಇನ್ ದ ವರ್ಲ್ಡ್ ಟುಡೇ. ಎಸ್ಪೆಷಲಿ ಯಂಗ್ಸ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಪ್ಲೇ ಅ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ರೋಲ್. Youngsters, if they do not become sensitive and learn about environment, it will be very difficult for this country to go ahead. You can't follow GDP. This is the most bogus. I am studying. I did my economics MA. I did my marketing diploma and advertising. I worked in the industry. I worked in the Reserve Bank for 1 year, an agricultural bank under World Bank schemes. I realized that economic pursuits are the most dangerous ones. Our pursuit should be that of a nice life. Poetry, literature, arts, painting, birds. This if we follow, it will sustain. That is sustainable. Economics is not sustainable. What will bring economics? They will bring some car, maybe some building. You will always look at the building. No. But you see, he has created a beautiful atmosphere. You can look at the tree, look at birds, look at butterfly. This is sustainable. This is very important that children and especially youngsters like you should understand it. If you don't understand, then we are heading towards a crisis. This is what I wanted to say.
Thank you, sir, for sharing such stories. As we have talked about stories about your film industry, then can you share us about the story behind what inspired or motivated you to be an environmentalist?
No, this is the same thing because I come from Dharwad. It has come in my blood. My great-grandfather, I believe, we are from Heblikar. So he used to go on a horse and every morning he would sow the seeds of a particular tree. Then when people ask, ಯಾಕಪ್ಪ ದಿವಸ ಹೋಗಿ ಬೀಜ ಹಾಕ್ತಿ, ಅಲ್ಲಪ್ಪ ನಮ್ಮ ರೈತರಿಗೆ ಬೇಕಲ್ಲ ರೆಂಟೆ ಕುಂಟೆ ಅಲ್ಲ, ಮತ್ತು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ತರೋದು, ರೆಂಟೆ ಕುಂಟೆಗೆ ಈ ಗಿಡ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿರ್ತವೆ ಮತ್ತು ಅವ್ರು ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನಮಗೆ ಊಟ ಬೇಕು ಅವರು. ಸೊ ಆ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಅವ್ರು ಗಿಡ ಬೆಳೆಸ್ಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಶುರು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರು ಅಲ್ಲೇ. So this is what my father told me. Then I used to bunk the school, go to Calgary, the biggest lake, swim there for hours. ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಮುಂದೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಕಂಟಿ ಗಿಂಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಫಾರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇತ್ತು. ಕವಳಿ ಹಣ್ಣು ಭಾಳ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಸಿಗೋದು. So we would eat a lot of kavli hannu, lot of jamun. We would climb the trees and chase the snake. That was nothing but environment. So I loved that environment. Then Nagesh Hegde, who writes about environment, he took me to, Aparajita became very popular film. I was a very famous man. Then said, hey, people would like to come and see you. You please come and talk about environment. And so he took me to Western Ghats. I fell in love with the Western Ghats. I always liked the ocean, the tree, rivers and the forest. So since then I have been fascinated by environment. And I have been going about giving talks and I am against the big cities like Bangalore because they are ecologically collapsing. People don't understand when I say ecologically collapsing. Yesterday I was speaking in Taj Hotel, the real estate people from Bombay had come. I spoke a lot about it, but I don't think many people understood it. Yeah, unfortunately. Here it is good. Here the students, the youngsters, the lecturers, everybody, is very sensitive and they like it. I would like to interact with people like them who will understand and spread it. So that is very important.
The other question that I have is, can you discuss some of the key environmental issues that is happening
We
now?
have today same thing. I am telling you, we are literally wiping out grasslands. We are felling trees in the Western Ghats. We are asphalting the big cities. We are wiping out lakes. We are wiping out wetlands, grasslands. Grassland holds about 43% of the world's carbon in the grass. We are removing that. So all the carbon is going into the atmosphere. Global warming. Then we are wiping out all the lakes. Without lakes, we cannot produce one single drop of water. We can produce energy, but not water. So water is needed because we are 140 crore people. We need food. We need vegetables. We need fruits like banana, whatever it is. We have to produce that. Look at that, food industry, agriculture, most important aspect. Then housing. We should not go on with cement and steel and all. Unnecessary it is. You will not be happy because you will not feel comfortable. You will have to burn more energy to run the fan, to run AC. Then energy means again more carbon dioxide, more methane, more sulfur dioxide will go into the atmosphere. So one thing leads to another. We are 140 crore, we are 800 crore people in the world, living only in 20% of the land. 70% is covered by the oceans, 10% covered by the ice. And win 20%, how 800 people every day? You need food, you need sleep, you need housing, you need bus, you need car, you need cycle. How are you going to produce? How long? That is why global warming and climate change is happening. Because we have chased the economics. We should never chase economics as a goal. Chase happiness, comfort, and simplicity. That's what I said. I spoke to them about the Stanford University. They made a report. They said, simplify your lifestyle. Unnecessarily don't produce so many things. Because we don't need them. We want them. We need water. We don't need cola. We need buttermilk, but we don't need cola. So we have to draw a line between our wants and needs. When we are clear about that line, then we can be able to protect our environment. We have to protect the forests. Forests are the greatest civilization, not this civilization. Forest is the greatest civilization. There is no toilet, there are no roads, there are no bridges, no cars, no towers, but then everything lives beautifully, ecologically, sustainably. Eating the fresh food, fresh fruits, fresh leaves. This is nothing. So we should understand forest, not only trees and wildlife. Forest is a sukshma life, there is a micro life, middle life, everything. So these are the things which students should know and pursue their economic goals in a way that will sustain their life. Okay?
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing such great stories and knowledge with us. I again, as part of the Soundarya College, I am thanking you for having a session with me.
Thank you. Thank you.